Thank you for joining us for English session program on radio television of Burkina Faso from Ouagadougou. The French foreign minister got an interview with President of Faso on Friday in Ouagadougou on the bilateral cooperation between France and Burkina Faso, mostly on the security issue. Jean-Yves Le Drian talked about the reinforcement of the joint force, the G5 Sahel, that is progressively getting ready to face terrorism. Jean-Yves Le Drian also said his country will back Burkina Faso in terrorist fight. Mohamed Ibn Chambas has also dealt with security issue. The UN Special Representative in West Africa and Sahel says the UN is standing by the side of Sahel countries that are victims of terrorist attacks. Defense and security ministers of Burkina Faso, Niger, Benin, and Togo also discussed on security issues this week in Ouagadougou. These four countries are sharing the same borders, and the idea is to find ways and means to tackle terrorist groups that are operating in those borders. Burkina Faso, Benin, Togo, and Niger have taken the commitment to operate through joint security operations or intelligence sharing to dismantle terrorist networks across borders of the four countries. The governor of the Rotary Club paid a visit to President of Faso, Akiladi Jeremiah Allen says he met President Kabore to talk about activities his club is implementing in Burkina Faso for people's well-being. I invite you to listen to the governor of the Rotary Club. He is interviewed by our reporters Vincent Chendebugo and Paul David Bambara.
I am here to represent Rotary International, and I am the district governor for 9101 that comprises 10 countries along West Africa. And my mandate is to visit as many clubs in all 10 countries. So I am here fulfilling my mandate in visiting clubs in Burkina Faso. And I'm here to see some of the projects that they have been engaged in and to encourage them to do much bigger projects. Rotary observes the community and selects specific projects that are humanitarian, and they try to execute so that we could improve the lives of the less fortunate. Specifically, we have projects in education, projects in water, sanitation, hygiene, projects in health, and projects in other areas that we think need assistance with government. So I am here specifically to thank the head of state for the good work that he has been doing in helping and collaborating with Rotary clubs in the country. And I must say we had a very warm welcome. He has embraced what we stand for in Rotary, and I am sure, I'm confident that the work of Rotary will expand in Burkina Faso.
People of Burkina Faso commemorated the 31st anniversary of the assassination of President Thomas Sankara. The father of the Burkina Faso Revolution was killed in a military coup on October the 15th, 1987 in Ouagadougou. On the commemoration, the Sankara's Friends Association and civil society defending Sankara's ideal have laid the first stone of Thomas Sankara's memorial building in Ouagadougou at the very place where he was assassinated in 1987. The story is by Omar Zombre.
Those bricks symbolize the achievement of a fight that lasted more than 30 years. A fight for the recognition of the father of Burkina Faso Revolution, Thomas Sankara, murdered on October the 15th, 1987, with 12 of his comrades. Today, here in this place, at the Conseil de l'Entente, where the revolutionary was killed, a statue of the revolution leader will be built. This monument will be 8 meters tall, of which 5 for the statue of Thomas Sankara. The bust of his companions will be built all around the monument by using lost wax techniques, according to the designer of the statue. After many attempts to erase this part of the history related to Thomas Sankara revolution, today, as a phoenix, Thomas Sankara is reborn again, and this time for eternity. For the president of the International Committee for Thomas Sankara Memorial, the former regime tried to sweep completely the legacy of Thomas Sankara, but despite it, the legacy survived and the regime was taken down and people know what happened. According to the Minister of Culture, this memorial is the evidence that Thomas Sankara is not dead. He also added that the government is engaged in this project. For a lawyer of the family, Benewende Sankara, this memorial is a victory before the great one, which is the trial of the murderers.
C'est une grande victoire parce que, comme je l'ai dit, c'est perpétuer la mémoire du président Sankara, c'est l'immortaliser, mais c'est aussi permettre...
It is a great victory because, as said, we are perpetuating the legacy of Thomas Sankara. We are immortalizing him, and at the same time, we're giving opportunity to young generation to embrace the philosophy of the leader and exchange on the actions and ideologies of Thomas Sankara, said Benewende Sankara. During the beginning of this ceremony, people sang the national anthem. And then walk from the statue place to the house called Maison Burkina, of which front doors Thomas Sankara was murdered by a commando. There, a faithful historic recall was made by the president of the committee. By this ceremony, this future statue that will stand here, 8 meters tall in Ouagadougou, the heirs of Thomas Sankara are daring to inventing the future for young generation.
A project called Father Bukimbila is a community project initiated by USAID to sensitize parents in how to teach reproductive health matters to their daughters. The project is being implemented in Sanematenga province at about 100 kilometers far from Ouagadougou. Beneficiaries recognize that the project has got a good impact in their communities, and the most perceptible outcome is the decreasing of girl pregnancy at school. I invite you to listen to one of the USAID officials.
I'm very encouraged by the results. I think this is a necessary conversation, and I'm glad it is happening. I think what I enjoy most is to see how the father and the son and the family have changed the conversations. I would like to encourage everyone, from the young people in the family to the parents to the religious leader, to know that this is a very important issue. They need to continue having this conversation, and I'm very glad now they have the tools to start having the conversations. But it is not only the beginning. It does not stop, and they have to continue it. I think this is a pilot project of 6 months. What this is telling us is that change is possible. And what we expect to see with additional support in the future is really look at the long-term impact of what is going to happen. But I think in this initial pilot phase, it is telling us that change is possible and people are very open and welcoming of it. The next stage for having a pilot project like this is we go back and we look at the data, we examine and analyze the data to see where we can do better and to see where we need to improve and where we can continue to do more of. And after that, we will reconceive the project to see how we can scale it up.
Thank you for watching. Stay tuned to Radio Television of Burkina Faso to enjoy your weekend. See you next time and take care.